Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rupali Gaikwad from Kiran Advices. Welcome to the virtual roadshow of Kratikal Tech Limited. Today, we will provide a brief overview of the company and its innovative business model. Kratikal Tech Limited is an India-based cybersecurity company providing AI-driven, SaaS-based security products and services that help organizations identify, assess, and mitigate cyber risks. The company focuses on protecting businesses from cyber threats and data breaches by strengthening security across people, process, and technology. From the management team, we have Mr. Pawan Kumar, Chairman, Managing Director, and CEO. Good afternoon and welcome, sir.
Good afternoon and welcome everyone.
Mr. Paratosh Kumar, Board Time Director. Good afternoon and welcome, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Mr. Vinay Singh, Chief Financial Officer. Good afternoon and welcome, sir.
Good afternoon.
From Beeline Capital Advisors Private Limited, we have Yashika Gyan Chandani, Regional Head. Good afternoon and welcome, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Welcome all.
Now we will play a short corporate video of the company.
The voice is not there. Rupali, I cannot hear the voice.
Yes, sir, 1 minute. We are playing it again with the video and voice. 1 minute. No, actually, sir, there is some technical issue, so that's why it is happening. I'm really sorry about it, sir.
No worries, no worries.
Now the floor is open for management to tell us the journey of the company. And let's now start with the company presentation. Over to you, Pawan, sir.
Thank you. Hi everyone and welcome to our IPO roadshow, an IPO meet for investors. My name is Pawan Kumar. I started this business along with my co-founders Paratosh Bansal and Deepjin Thapa. I have been accompanied today with Mr. Vinay Singh, and we're going to talk about a little bit more on about the company. But I think let's start with the story how we started, and it's very, very, very important and critical, right, to our entire journey. So I passed out from NIT Lava. So when I came from a village in Agra. So when we kind of usually give an exam, right? So generally you give IIT JEE for engineering, or you give, previously it was known as AIEEE. So we all passed that. We got into first year of college, and what happens so far is in the first year when you go as a kid, you create your email account. So I created my first email account in first year, and then at the mid of first year, or the last of first year, right, I received a phishing email, right? So I received a email saying reset your password. I clicked on that particular link. I was redirected to a Gmail ka exactly looking like a page. I put up my ID and password in there, and as soon as I click on submit, my email account got hacked. And from there, they were able to access my Facebook, my other social media accounts that I had at that point of time. They were able to post a lot of garbage content on those profiles. For me, uh, I was a 16, 17-year-old guy. It's a very big thing, right? Even if you look at today, cyberbullying causes a lot of deaths, and I think this is all over the media already. But it hit me a lot, right? So I ran to Parathos. My room number was 86. Parathos' room number was 90, and I asked him that, can we investigate this? And we started investigating. We found out that there is not only one way by which you can hack an account. There are hundreds of ways by which you can hack an account, right? And then we thought, okay, why, if this is a problem for kids like us, this could be a large problem for enterprises. And that's where we thought of building Kratikal. So Kratikal was founded again while we were in college of second year in 2013. In the college itself, uh, from there till now, we passed out in 2015, right? From there, we kind of was in kind of stealth mode for or roughly 1.5 to 2 years. So actually, we started in kind of 2017, right? So we are three co-founders, me, Parathos, and Deepjang. We're going to talk about a little bit of more while we talk about the company profile and KMPs. Right now, Kratikal has two core business verticals. One is predominantly product, which is 54% of the revenue. The other is services, which is 46% of the revenue. ThreadCorp has 4 different modules. So we're going to talk about a little bit more on what these modules are. We have one AI-driven platform which automates your entire security testing. In short, the ethical hacking that we generally talk. We are in 24 different states, 24 different countries, 12 plus industry coverage, and 200 plus employees. Right? We have a 36.71 crore revenue. We have a 25% kind of EBITDA, 17% kind of PAT margin, 34% ROE and ROCE. Next slide, please. Like I said, right, we passed out in 15. So in 15, when we had a great jobs, honestly. I had a 3. Paratos again has a multiple jobs. Deep has multiple jobs. We thought, okay, to build this company, right, we have to take a risk. And we just took a risk. And we thought, so we directly jumped directly from Allahabad to Delhi. We did not go to our houses because we knew that the parents will convince us to do those jobs. And those were lucrative as in freshers, right? Meanwhile, the Deepjung joined Paytm so that he can little bit support us. Deepjung is the one who helped build the metro recharge and electricity bill payment in Paytm if you are using Paytm app over there, right? We just took an office just behind Paytm so that he can come in the evening and kind of help us and support us with the venture that we had, right? Now, these are like generally the journey. But if you talk about technical expertise, we come from a very huge experience in cybersecurity. We have roughly around a decade of experience. I and Paratos has written 5 different books. We have already 3 patents pending, which we have written so far. Some of the patents are actually global patents, and those are powering our product. We're going to talk about a little bit more on what we are able to achieve on those patents. We have been accompanied by a very versatile board. So we have Mr. Anand, who was ex-CFO of our Opus Group of Consulting. The company was acquired by a large company in the US. He comes with very deep expertise in finance. So whenever we have any problem in finance, he helps us, consult us, and tell us what needs to be done. Then we have Mr. Sanjeev Sinha, who is an independent board. He was previously in DRDO, then Canon, then he was a CEO of our company called Impact QA. So he is an IT veteran in the industry. Then we have a Ms. Subhi Kesravani. Subhi is CEO for Gurujal. She does a lot of work with social enterprise, so very deep connects within the government. So whenever we have something on that side, we look for her guidance. We have been again accompanied by a very good team. So we have Miss Sikha, who's kind of managing the entire North region in terms of when it's come to services sales. We have Mr. Naman, who is managing the West region when it's come to product sales. We have Mr. Vinayji, who's already on the call. Then we have Mr. Anmol, who is our CS. Next slide, please. Yeah, if you look at like IT industry in whole, right, it's more than $350 billion industry. But just go to the next slide. But if you look at specifically into the cybersecurity industry, it is 13.6 billion. Think like when we started, it was very early, right? And that's kind of gave us a very good boost in terms of getting the market share, especially in India. And I wanted to focus a little bit over here because don't only focus on the Indian cybersecurity market. The total global market is roughly around $250 billion to $300 billion, right? If you look at cybersecurity where we deal with, there is a company in our same category called Proofpoint. They do roughly $2.5 billion as in revenue. The lowest one would be, let's say, the second one would be around, let's say, $1 billion and then more than $500 million. So we are a drop in the ocean with roughly around $4 to $5 million as a revenue. And the reason why I'm telling this is that if you look at our revenue, more than 30% of the revenue is export, right? Having said that, the total TAM that we can address is more than 30 plus billion. So we had a huge, like we're just a drop in the ocean as of now. And that's why we kind of go public, raise money, and then actually expand into those market geographically, very actively, and I would say tangentially. Next slide, please. Now, one of the critical part about Kratikal is that we are a cert impaneled. So I'll give you an analogy what cert impaneled means, and it's very important to understand. Most of you must have AIF, which is regulated by SEBI, and they have to have a compliance called CSCRF. And in CSCRF, you have to have a VAPT, and you have to get it done from a cert impaneled organization only. So there are a couple of companies which are cert impaneled. What it means is that we are kind of CAs for cybersecurity, meaning that whenever there is an audit happens, or the audit can be done by a cert impaneled organization only. So basically, it's a regulatory tailwind. So the business comes from a regulatory tailwind itself. That's what certain compliance impanel mean. Here also ISO 27001 and 2701. What it means is it predominantly means that we are the way we kind of manage our data, right? How we have a cyber hygiene, how our controls are deployed. So we maintain the data at utmost, I would say, cyber security. So we deploy our multiple tools, products, and everything to kind of safeguard our customer data. The other is SOC 2 Type 2, right? So whenever you want to do a business with a US based company, you have to have those certification. Next. Now, if I talk about business vertical, right? If you divide cybersecurity as in different parts, you will have three parts: people, process, and technology. In a people, we have these products called TSAT, TLMS, TDMAC, and TPIR, all modules of ThreatCop, right? And here, what we do is we look at 90 to 95% of the problem is happening via human, because the human receive a WhatsApp, a fake email, a fake Telegram, and they clicked on that, and basis of that, like within seconds, you get to know that you've been hacked. That's where the people security management comes in play. I'm going to discuss a lot more in detail in a business chapter on that side. In technology and processes, we do kind of services. So the predominant service that we have: VAPT, governance, risk and compliances, virtual CISO, and AI-based VMDR solution. The Paratosh is going to talk about a little bit more on that side. So we cover people, process, and technology up to an extent, right? The revenue that we have, if you see that the product revenue is increasing year by year, we have 53.77, which is like 54% of the revenue coming from pure play SaaS revenue, which is product revenue. 46.22% is coming from services. And when we services, we don't do resource augmentation. It's predominantly powered by products. So it's like a product as a service. So basically, the customer comes in the portal, they sign up, they get entire reports. Automation is done automatically with the product, and rest of the things which is left is done by humans, right? So that's why it's called services, and that's why we put it up in this section as a service. Next, please. Now let's focus on people security management, right? Like I mentioned, 90 to 95% of the problem is because of people security, right? So let's say if you look at the data, you just go do a Google search, you will find out there's a company called Stryker, which was hacked by Iranian hacker. It's a US based company. What they did is the same thing that happened with me, right? While I was starting this company, they actually sent a phishing email, very lucrative phishing email, to an admin of a Stryker. That company is a very big company, by the way. Stryker, the user clicked on like the link, put a ID password, and they were able to hijack the entire MDM, which is mobile device management. Meaning they segregated the entire infrastructures from the actual domain control of that organization, right? So every device was kind of disrupted, and they were able to hijack the entire company. So this is what is the problem. To solve that problem, what we have built so far is, and this we solve it from a framework called AAPE: Assess, Aware, Protect, and Empower. In Assess, what we do is we do cyber drills. For example, let's say think like a virtual hacker, which kind of crawls all the data on the internet, all the kind of attacks which are happening across the globe, and then simulate those attacks to tell you exactly how many people actually opened those links, click those links, and how many got hacked, how many installed the ransomware that you simulated. So it's a kind of cyber drill that happens, and then the CISO get to know. CISO means Chief Information Security Officer get to know what are the risks that they have. So we calculate something called EVS score. The way you have a civil score, we calculate EVS, Employee Vulnerability Score, of every individual, so that you can understand how much aware they are from a cybersecurity standpoint. Now, once you know the EVS score, the next thing is that you solve that problem. You can solve this problem by two ways. One is psychological, other is technical. From a psychological standpoint, we have a TLMS, which is a learning management system, right? We have one of the largest learning management system for cybersecurity in the world. We call it Netflix for cybersecurity. For example, let's say the attack that happened with me. If I would have played this in a game within that content environment, I would not have clicked on that link. So it consists of game, infographics, videos, and whatnot. You can build the content on the fly with the help of AI. You just write it up, whatever that you want. One of the critical part that we do is called actionable awareness, meaning as soon as you said, let's say, go to the Chrome URL, you have been, let's say, clicked on the particular fake link, it will analyze, the firewall will analyze, firewall give it a hit to RLMS, and you will have an instantaneous awareness going to you, meaning you can actually protect yourself in the real time, right? The other product that we have, this is psychologically the way we're building. This also can kind of help achieve compliances like ISO 27001, RBI, and all of those things. All these products that you see, RBI mandate these compliance to have in the banking section. Not only RBI, but all the regulatory authorities, SEBI, your IRDA, and which is in India, Saudi NCA, let's say CCPA in California, all the government organization across the world actually enforces this, and it's a regulatory tailwind. They have to have these products, either mine or someone else. The other product that we have is called DMARC. What it does is, and that's where our patent comes in play, right? Right now, I'm not sure how many of you know, I can send an email from your email ID to anyone in the world, and you will never know there's an email sent from exactly your email ID. And this was a big issue in the past. Like, I will give you a classical example. I can send any post, right, from anyone's name to anyone, and no one can figure that out. That was a big problem in 90s, 70s when the email came in existence. After a period of time, what we were able to do is the Google, Microsoft come together, build up a protocol called DMARC. What they were able to do is that you can stop those attacks proactively if you deploy DMARC. But having said that, that technology gives you the data after 24 to 48 hours. With the help of our patent and which we've done, that you get that data in 56 milliseconds with the metadata, meaning which email ID got hacked. One of the largest exchange right now using that particular product, right, in India, some of the largest company in the Middle East are using that particular product to get you in real time who's trying to spoof you and stop that attack. The last is, let's say you did everything, right? You did everything. You did protection. You did all the product. But in the last, let's say if you look at, you receive an email, WhatsApp. I think you must have receiving a lot of WhatsApp fraud automatically from people pretending to be someone. What you can do in a real time, at that point in time, if you have a security co-pilot, let's say a person like me who can help you guide if it's a fraud or not. So what we do is we give you a button inside your Outlook, a WhatsApp number, so that you can report those emails. Not only report, but it works like a security co-pilot. As soon as you click on that button, that email is investigated in a real time and tell you exactly why this email is a fraud email or not, right? The same goes with that WhatsApp. Put up a screenshot. It will tell you why this is coming from a bank or not, right? So basically, in an active environment, you have a security co-pilot powered by AI to tell you what exactly you have been attacked by. And how do we make money, right? All of those products. We charge per module, per year, per user. It's a subscription-based model, completely driven by SaaS-based revenue. It is the contract are executed by channel partners. It's an annual 3 years or 5 year contract. We generally get paid in advance. And we have a potential avenues, like let's say put one product, then we scale into other product, right? So we sell one product and then another product and another product. The people can buy whole or they can buy individually. Like I said, it's a regulatory tailwind. Everyone has to buy it either from me or someone else. Now I will invite my co-founder Paratos to explain what Kratikal does in itself. And please move the slide to next. Next slide, please.
Next slide. Yeah. So thank you, Pawan, for making the introduction and all. In the people's, like Pawan has mentioned, there are 3 pillars in cybersecurity: people, process, technology. In the people side, we have 4 products from ThreatCop. In the technology and the process security services, so we have services and one product, that is AutoSecurity. So in cybersecurity services portfolio, we do VAPT. So let me give you 1 or 2 examples what we exactly do in VAPT. So right now everyone knows, like most of the applications, most of the companies are coming with the wallet feature in their applications. So what this wallet does is you can add money into the wallet and you can spend this money anywhere which is required, which is the application functionality provide to pay anywhere. Now, let's say if I add 10,000 rupees into the wallet and the same kind of money will be directed from my bank account. Obviously, I'm adding money to the wallet to pay this money to anywhere. Now, if I do this, if I make some changes from a attacker point of view, and what I do is I'm adding money to the wallet, which is 10,000 rupees, but nothing has been directed from my bank account, or let's say 1 rupees has been directed from my bank account. and I do this particular transaction 10,000 times a day with the automation, that means the 10 crore rupees will be added to the wallet, and nothing has been deducted from my bank account. And that's the kind of vulnerabilities which are there in the market in most of the application and most of the IT infrastructure. So what our job is to find out all these kind of loopholes in the applications, in the IT infra, and report it and send it to the customers, so they can mitigate those particular issue before they go into the production, or even if they are production, they safeguard, they mitigate all these issues. Let me give you one more related example that we did back in time. So long time back, we were sitting in, we were doing the pen testing of a very large healthcare company in India. We were sitting in cafeteria. What we found out, we found out a open LAN port. We connected to the LAN port our system, and we were able to get access to the MRI machine over there, which was in the uh, medical area, separated from the cafeteria. And through the LAN port, we were able to change the frequency or the radiation level in the MRI machine. And let's say if the patient was there at that particular time, or if the patient is already there, and if we change that particular radiation, the patient could die. And these kind of vulnerability actually exist in multiple different places. So what our job is to find out all those issues, report it in a better way. We give them the recommendation in a very you can say readable format from a developer's point of view or from a network guy point of view, so they can mitigate those issue in a very secure manner and very fast. Other than this, we also secure the critical infrastructures, like the Pawan mentioned one example previously. Apart from this, there are GRC services, like the Pawan mentioned about the regulatory requirements from RBI, SEBI, IRDAI, or any other regulatory bodies. So our job is to do any kind of audit which is required as part of the regulatory requirement. And there are multiple other compliances which are applicable everywhere in the world, like ISO 27001, SOC 2, GDPR, PCI DSS, DP, which came into the picture recently, and every organization in India has to be DPDP compliant by May 27. If they are not DPDP compliant, the fine can goes up to 250 crore rupees. Now, so let me give you one example of SOC 2. So if any company wants to do business with US companies, US company will directly ask for the SOC 2 attestation report. So our job is to do the implementation in the organization till the report attestation. We do each and every process, and we submit it to the customer, so they can send this report to their customer and they can have a business in future. The virtual CISO service is just like the virtual CFO. If the company is not able to hire full-time CISO, or the company needs a particular service where they want to establish one particular framework within the organization, they can hire a virtual CISO from us that will work as an internal team of there, and that will help that person will help building that particular compliance requirement which customer required right now. So all the things which I have mentioned in VAPT, that security testing we do, human led, the same kind of thing we have automated in AutoSecti with AI driven functionalities. Pawan will talk a lot in SLM side, where how we have actually integrated our SLM into the AutoSecti, how we have built them. The operating model and the revenue model here, in the services side, it totally depends on the project. So we cater from one application, depends on the company's IT infrastructure, from one application till the enterprise, where we are actually securing their more than 50 plus applications and 1000 plus endpoints and servers and everything. In the AutoSecti side, the revenue operating model is totally depends on the assets, number of assets, and the same way we have the revenue model in ThreatCorp, where the revenue model is totally based on the number of employees in the organization. Here we have based on the number of assets per year subscription, where our customers can do unlimited discounts throughout the year. There are cross-sell and upsell opportunities every year on the existing customers, where the company is looking for any other compliance, and there is a renewal of the compliance which is required every year. Thank you. We can go to the next slide.
Yeah, please go to the next slide. Yeah, thank you, Para. I'll take it forward from here, right? One of the things that I really wanted to highlight, right? When this entire geopolitical things were happening, and also our ticket size, which is like we had 677 customer last year, right? The ticket size was low for us, and we figured out that problem very early on. So we thought, let's just expand outside, making sure that we are a very unit economic people, right? We wanted to make sure that we have a strong unit economics. We started with Middle East, so we exported Middle East. So if you look at the last 2 years, we have been in the Middle East aggressively. I was there. I was there for 2 years. I was living in Dubai, building the template for my people, and we are able to do that revenue heavily in the Middle East. From last 1 years, I've shifted to the US. So I'm right now, obviously in India, but I'm currently resident in the US and managing the entire US market, and we're expanding it globally. The US, some of the US government, local governments, which is like counties or some transport companies, actually uses us as an for their security awareness stuff. So we have 30% of the revenue coming from export, right? 70% is coming from local, and the kind of ticket size is multiplied. So let's say if a guy sells the same product in the Middle East, it's 3 to 4x, it's 10 to 15x, sometimes 20x in the US, right? We have You will not find any of the company which is so much diversified in terms of revenue, in terms of states, in terms of countries. It is one of the quality revenue that you will ever see in some of the listed peers that are there, right? The export is high, the country diversification is heavy, and the concentration of the revenue is not at a single place. Can you go to the next slide? Now, if you look at top 10 customer, right? My top 10 customer gives 30% of only the revenue that we have. If you look at previously, the revenue was 21%, right? So what I'm intending to say is that if you look at again every year, you will find 70, 80% of the money coming from 10 customers, or let's say 40, 50% of the revenue coming from the 10 customers. This is not the case with us. It's not going to be the case with us, right? Because the kind of customer that we have, the revenue is diversified and the risk is also diversified from that angle. We also have like the customer in government. Previously, it was not there, but we have been aggressively are able to get into government like PSUs, largest oil and marketing company, largest oil and natural gas company in India is my customer. Largest e-commerce company is my customer. If you look at the other distribution side, like so, if you look at the maximum concentration is technology, BFSI, and other industry, right? It is not concentrated at one place. Technology company, the largest of the largest players, which has lakhs of employee, uses my platform to aware, secure their own employee. The largest private sector bank uses us for their own employee. Can we go to the next slide? Now, if you look at the revenue, right, we have been actually growing 50 to 60% CAGR, 68% to be exact from last 2 years. So the CAGR is pretty heavy, right? We have been consistently maintaining our PAT percentage while growing, right? So if you look at, there is a little bit of decline in last 2 years. It's because of the expansion into different geographies. So let's say you have a Middle East, you have a US. The reason is that whenever you hire people, you spend money, and we take roughly around 1 to 1.5 years to get a hold of that particular market, and that for till that time the entire money is going as an cost to company, right? But if you look at the absolute number, they're increasing like crazy. Next. So if you look at current ratios, I think you guys are pretty much I think solid on that side. The net asset value per share is 29.43, diluted EPS is 7.83. We have all those things that obviously you guys track is pretty much in the control. Next. Over to you, Banerjee. I think these are your slides.
So thank you, Pawan. So here you can see our balance sheet that reflects strong growth, funded largely through our own earnings, and we have no debt in our books. Coming to the next, I think. Yeah. So overall, we have grown our business strongly, earned good profits, and invested for the futures. I think. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, can you go to the next slide? So if you look at peer comparison, generally, if you kind of compare us, we put up our best possible comparison because generally the services-based company are listed. We are predominantly on the product side, and in a people security management, you will not find a single company which is listed. So we try to put up a justice on those comparison, and I think those numbers are here already. But I will highly advise to kind of compare from a global market, because we are competing with them on the ground with the global players on that side. Yeah. Can you go to the next slide? Now, what are the competitive strength that we have, right? If you look at ThreatCop, think like this: the modules. Why we build these 4 modules? Think like this is an army, navy, and your air force, right? So if one product, which is like EVS, is not passing the data to my LMS, or let's say TPIR, or let's say DMARC, right? Or DMARC is not passing data to vice versa. The defense is not heavily. And if you look at my competitor across the globe, they are buying those companies, right? Either buying, not even buying, I think they were just partnering those companies to build those features. They don't have those native, while we come with an integrated solution. If you look at real-time DMARC with center ID visibility, meaning, let's say, whenever any email ID gets spoofed, you get a notification into your security system. That's not something which is available across the globe. The comprehensive coverage across security domains. So we not only do, let's say, web as a system, right? We give a single bouquet for everything for a CISO in terms of testing coverage, right? The platform that we have is AI driven. What it means, it's not like typical putting up a cloud at the back end, although we are authorized security kind of partner for cloud, and we have access to Opus to do a security testing, right? But having said that, we have our own SLM. What it means is, I can tell you, right, over the last 10 years, my people have conducted lakhs of, I would say, audits. And we have kind of, one of the best things that we did is we kind of documented every other audit, meaning my people have exploited one OTP that you see by 3,600 ways. Meaning, for any AI material, this is like baseline. So we train those SLM on our data, which we have a huge database to give you much more accurate results, and also the less token cost in comparison to the foundation model that you see on a trillions of dollars. So that's like trillions of parameters, right? That's like one of the core advantage and competition that we have. We are a certain panel, like I said, and we have a huge experienced management staff and technical team, predominantly powered by tier 1 colleges like NITs and IITs. Can we go to the next slide? Now, I think there will be a lot of question on this, but this is like one of my favorite slides, right? The way we look at growth is, and which will cover all the segments over here, we have one of the highest customer satisfaction that reflect into our revenue. We kind of, our ARR is roughly around 105% for the products, because we upsell. So the way we fundamentally look at this is horizontal growth and vertical growth, right? Sorry, vertical growth and horizontal growth. Vertical growth is, as soon as someone buys my product, and if they grow 2x, my revenue grows 2x, right? So the revenue actually grows as much as number of employees are increasing. This is like horizontal growth. The vertical growth is, we add more products. So let's say whenever we pitch to the customer, 22% of the time we are able to sell a new module. So that's a horizontal growth. You can just, if you look at market like international growth, we can just put the same formula and put it to different markets. So we will be able to get to international growth as well. The lend and expend is a part of horizontal growth. We are trying to do the same thing with the auto security platform, as well as the mid-market, as well as the customer base. One of the critical part is to do a horizontal growth is to have more products in the same vertical. So we are building our own something called email security. Right now we have outbound email security. We are building inbound email security as well, where the object of the issue, like 9 crore of the object of the issues will go into product development, so that we can actually kind of 5x the ticket size that we have in existing domestic customers as well. So that's what it is from a strategy standpoint. Next. Yeah, so I will invite Yashika to kind of take care of this slide. Yashika, you're on mute.
Thank you, Pawan sir, Parutosh sir, and Vinay sir for the presentation. So I like to thank all the investors present here. So from the issue side, the issue is opening on 30th of June and closes on 2nd of July. Today is the anchor investors applications, and you'll get the anchor list soon out. So the issue is offers 29 lakh 40,000 equity share at a price band of 128 to 135, and the allocation of the issue in this way, like 1 lakh 50,000 equity share reserved for market maker, 8,31,000 equity share allocated to anchor investor portion. 5,58,000 equity share will be allocated to QIB. 4,23,000 equity share will be allocated to non-institutional investors. 9,78,000 equity share will be allocated to retail investors. The equity share are proposed to be listed on BSE SME on 7th of July. Next slide. So the proceeds will be utilized towards investment in the subsidiaries in the UAE and USA for the expansion towards the sales and marketing and the hiring of workforce. So 23 crores will goes into the investment in subsidiary, and 9 crores will be going to the investment in the product development in the company. As just Pawan sir spoke about the new product development, so that 9 crores will be going to that side. I think next.
Great. I think I'll take this. I think just try to
Yeah.
convert it, let's say, in 1 minute, right? You will find that this is probably the first cybersecurity going on exchange as an AI-based cybersecurity products and company. I think there are a couple of people, other people are trying to do the same kind of stuff. We are a scaled multi-vertical cybersecurity system and platform, right? We have been able to kind of grow into the domestic market, and we have been able to get a good number of shares as in customers. We have a strong revenue with capital efficiency and clean balance sheet. We have not we've raised money in the past, but we have not been any debt on the entire balance sheet over the period of time, right? Diversified customers, industry, I think geographical profile that I've already mentioned, proprietary AI-driven products, and regulatory tailwind. That's very, very critical, right? We get inbound interest for our services, like hundreds of companies coming every month to our portal, and we serve them. That's all from my side. We are happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Pawan sir. Thank you, Paratosh sir. Thank you, Vijay sir. Thank you, Ashika ma'am, for the presentation. Now we will play a short corporate video of the company.
As digital adoption accelerates across industries, cyber risk is no longer a possibility. It is a constant. Enterprises today are not just adapting to this reality, but are rethinking how they secure their people, process, technology stack at scale. At the center of this transformation stands Kratikal Tech Limited. Founded in 2013, Kratikal Tech Limited is an India-based cybersecurity company operating across the people, process, technology stack, delivering integrated cybersecurity and compliance-driven solutions. The company delivers AI-driven, SaaS-led cybersecurity solutions through two integrated business verticals: people security management and technology and process security services. Through its advanced platforms, ThreatCop and the AI-powered AutoSec-D, Kratikal enables enterprises to identify vulnerabilities, prioritize risks, and build resilience across their entire digital ecosystem. From human layer risk to infrastructure security, we cover the full spectrum. Our People Security Management (PSM) capabilities, delivered through the ThreatCop platform, are designed to reduce human-related cyber risks by transforming employees from potential vulnerabilities into active defenders. Security awareness, phishing simulation, email authentication, incident response. Because cybersecurity isn't just about systems, it's about behavior. Complementing this, our AI-driven platform, AutoSec-D, provides continuous vulnerability discovery, intelligent risk prioritization, and automated remediation workflows, enabling scalable, enterprise-grade protection across applications, APIs, cloud environments, and infrastructure. Intelligent automation, actionable insights, continuous protection. Together, these integrated offerings deliver end-to-end security across the people, process, technology stack, enabling organizations to proactively identify, prioritize, and mitigate cyber risks while strengthening their overall security posture in an increasingly complex threat landscape. These efforts aim to expand market presence and reach enterprises across geographies in an increasingly competitive cybersecurity landscape. Kratikal Tech Limited is led by a promoter-driven leadership team under the guidance of Pawan Kumar, Chairman, Managing Director, and CEO, who brings over a decade of experience in cybersecurity and SaaS platforms. Supported by Paratosh, Kumar, and Dip Jangthapa, along with an experienced management team across product, operations, and growth, the company combines entrepreneurial agility with strong governance and disciplined execution. With a presence across 24 states in India and customers in 24 countries, Kratikal serves enterprises across 12 plus industries, including BFSI, technology, healthcare, manufacturing, and government. Powered by a growing team of 200 employees, the company is built in India and scaling globally. With certain empanelment and alignment with leading global frameworks, including ISO, SOC 2, RBI, SEBI, GDPR, HIPAA, and PCI DSS. Kratikal Tech stands strongly positioned at the intersection of compliance-driven cybersecurity demand and digital transformation. In a world defined by rapid digital growth and evolving cyber threats, organizations need more than just security. They need a partner who can secure the people-process technology stack together. Kratikal Tech Limited, for today's digital enterprises and tomorrow's connected world. Powered by AI. Built for the future.
Thank you for the corporate video. Now we will start with the Q&A session. I request all the participants to post your question in the comment box. So we have a first question from Kushal sir. He is asking, elaborate on the product offering or TS, TSAT, TD Mark and TLMS with the applications, our USP, any technology edge.
Which question is this?
Don't look
Okay,
at this.
I'll answer, right? It's generally asking for TLMS USP, right, from other product. So if you look at like Indian players, right, I don't think so that they are even one third of us in terms of features. So be it in terms of tech, be it in terms of the content store, right? But to answer the global player and in the global landscapes, uh, generally people the way it is done is that generally people and the companies, and this is the public data you can search on the internet, who are only phishing led simulations, right? Although phishing contributes a lot of attack, but they don't focus on WhatsApp, SMS, your Telegram, your ransomwares. There are n number of attacks. So we cover roughly 9 to 10 attack vectors, which is clearly differentiated on that side. If you look at again on a DMARC side, the real-time DMARC, no one has that from a technology standpoint. These are some of the factors which kind of contribute a lot in terms of, I would say, the technological differentiation, apart from normal workflows of the product, right? So you can just rebund every other content. You have an AI studio where you can convert the language in any of the languages which is not there in any of the platform possible, right? So let's say I want to grow into the German, you can just click one and you will get the video content available on German, right? The same goes with the simulation platforms. We have something called AI. We started very early on AI-based templates. So anything that is happening across the world, you just type in, you will get that content built automatically. The custom URL. There are n number of things that I can tell, but these are some of them in terms of technical advantage that we have over the global players.
Thank you, Pawan sir. Thank you, Kushal sir. Next question, please. We have a next question from Gokul sir. He's asking, TSAT contributes the largest share of our revenue in the financial year 2026. Does this concentration create dependence on a single product category?
Not really, right? The reason is whenever you see TSAT revenue, it's coming from TSAT plus TRS combined, because it's generally bundled all together. But as an invoice, it goes into one particular head, right? Or the TLMS revenue that you see so far will not buy TSAT, right? So it is not, because this is something that we started with, right? When we started in 2017, TSAT plus TLMS was the first product which come into existence, and we have a renewal coming on recurring. So the next product are pacing up, like these products are 2 year, 3 year old product, which we're trying to build and then kind of scale it up. So that's the, I would say, the answer why this is a concentration. But moving forward, the more concentration will come from all the product or probably bundle that we have.
Thank you, Pawan sir. Thank you, Gokul sir. Next question, please. We have a next question from Neeraj sir. He's asking, client additions remained relatively stable while revenue grew sharply in a financial year 2026. Is growth increasingly coming from deeper engagement with the existing customers?
That's correct. I think very good question. I think this is coming from both, right? One of the reason is that we've started focusing more on international market, where the ticket size is very heavy, right? So you see kind of jump in the revenue from that ticket size, and you see less number of customer coming while as the ticket size increases. Some of the customer that we have seen so far is paying us like 20x of what we generally get in India. So that's I think what you ask is right, but the international customers are increasing. Thus, the revenue is increasing from that angle. That's why you see a less growth in terms of customers, and also
Thank
the
you.
deeper engagement with customers as
Yeah.
well, the same customers.
Thank you, Pawan sir. Thank you, Neeraj sir. Next question, please. So we have a next question from Jay sir. He's asking, product revenues have grown faster than service revenues. At what stage does the product business become the primary growth engine?
So I'll tell you, right, the renewal rate of our product is very high. And we have been like, again, great question. We have been pushing the product growth heavily and productizing our services that we already have. That's the reason we don't do resources. So in coming years, you will see a lot more growth in the product side, and we envision that on that side. And I think the people also are looking for automation, right? So the requirement is more of building automation so that the people are able to, without interacting to a human, they are able to kind of do all of the stuff. So the product revenue will be growing much faster. Having said that, like we're growing internationally, and apart from this, even the services revenue will come more on a product side.
Thank you, Jay sir. Thank you, Pawan sir. Next question. We have a next question from V sir. He's asking, employee strength has increased significantly over the last 2 years. Can future growth be achieved without a similar increase in a headcount?
Very, very interesting question, Veer. Yes, the answer is yes. The reason is, I'll tell you, right? The entire, so when we generally call it Elon Musk effect, right? When Elon Musk bought Twitter, he fired 80% of the staff, and still Twitter is running smoothly without any challenges, apart from few hiccups. The same goes with any software company. While they grow, they have to have a people. So let's say if I've calculated internally that I need 16 people for my product and 40 people must for my services. Right now, my strength is 200. These are the people who can serve the same customer without any growth. So the people that you see is predominantly for hiring on a growth side. And that's the answer to your question. Hope this answers your question.
Thank you, V sir. Thank you, Pawan sir. Next question, please. We have a next question from Kavita ma'am. She's asking, VAPT contributes nearly 35% of our revenue every year. Could increasingly competition affect this business segment?
Not really. I'll tell you the reason. The VAPT, which is called vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, previously we were automating it roughly on 20 to 30% internally. Recently, we have automated let's say API testing fully, like almost around 80 to 80%. The cloud automatic is all fully automated, meaning previously a human take a lot of time. Now it's been done by software. So we may disrupt this particular market by coming up with a solution called outcome-based pricing, right? Instead of project-based pricing. So this will actually increase our revenue given the significance of the SLM that we are able to build or the automation that we are able to achieve. So the people will go with the automation with little bit of less pricing because the humans are not there, then compared to the VAPT. So we kind of predominantly wanted to convert the VAPT services revenue to a product revenue in coming years. And we are able to achieve a lot of success in cloud testing, in your API testing, in your desktop and server testing as well. So this is like already come to a significant conclusion. Hope this answers your question, Kavita ji.
Thank you, Kavita ma'am. Thank you, Pawan sir. Next question, please. We have a next question from Deepak sir. He's asking, AutoSet currently contributes less than 1% of revenue despite being positioned as a strategic platform. What explains this low monetization?
Thank you, sir, for asking, because I forgot to mention that on the last system, right? So when I mentioned that we sell, the way it works is that people come to our portal, put up a lead comes in, my sales guy goes and pitch in, but every other customer is being delivered via product. The reason is that we wanted to be very much transparent in terms of services. So we put the entire revenue in services because it is a consistent of automation and services. So every other VAPT customer is now delivered via product itself. So a customer comes, they download that report directly from the product. My people actually, some of the automation is already done from product itself. If something left, my people go manually test it. So that's why you don't see the action item, because it's not invoiced as an AutoSecti as per se. But you will see a lot more coming from AutoSecti as well in the going future. Hope this answers your question, sir. And thank you so much for asking.
Thank you, Deepak sir. Thank you, Pawan sir. Next question, please. We have a next question from Seema ma'am. She's asking, revenue increased by 76%, whereas EBITDA margin declined from 29.7% to 24.7%. What factors drove the margin compression?
Okay, so to answer your question, right, the revenue increased by 76%. I think I've answered this during the PPT. The reason is that we have to heavily invest into our Middle East market as well as the US market, right? And these are like capital sensitive market because the same person, let's say if you hire a person in India, the sales guy can cost between 12 lakh rupees to 16 lakh rupees, right? If you hire same person in the Middle East, the cost is much higher, like 3 to 4x. In the US, it's 10x, right? 10 to 20x. Let's say any sales guy would come around 200 to anywhere between 200 to 400K, right? As in salesperson, again, OT and all of those stuff. So the cost deployment, like we have to deploy funds before we kind of start getting on all of those
Right.
those I would say ROI from that market. So that's the reason this a little bit decline, but we intend to maintain the PAT percentage that we have so far.
Thank you, Seema ma'am. Next question, please. We have a next question from Raghav sir. He's asking, PAT margin has reduced from 24.6% to 16.7% over 3 years despite strong growth. Is this the new normal?
Not Raghavji. I think the only thing is international growth, right? And that's the reason we are kind of trying to get more into the international market. I think someone also asked a question that why international market, not domestic, right? The ticket size makes a lot of difference. I have to do the same kind of work, the same because it's a software, right? It can work same way in India, Middle East, Southeast Asia, or let's say US. But the ticket size that I have is roughly around 10x, right? Over those markets. That's the reason. But having said that, we are focusing on high value product like email security, which will increase those PAT margins in the same customer. So Raghavji, the reason is predominantly the market expansion that has been done so far from 24 to 16%. But like I said, we intend to kind of maintain that. If we wouldn't have grown, the PAT margin should have been shoot on a very different level. So let's say so the growth versus PAT is something that we decided that we will invest money in these new geographies so that potentially after a few years you'll see a lot more reasonable PAT that is coming in. It's not a new normal, sir.
Thank you, Raghav sir. Thank you, Pawan sir. Next question, please. Ananya ma'am is asking, what is the revenue split between project-based engagement, asset-based pricing, and subscription pricing?
Again, good question, and I'll answer this, right? Subscription happens with ThreatCorp, which is like 54% of the revenue is fully subscription-based product, right? The revenue that we have, meaning it's almost 100% of the revenue, and I think more than 100% of the revenue gets from the same customer, and we get renewed that from that angle. The services, the project-based price engagement, asset-based pricing happens in services. Even in services, we get roughly around 60% of the revenue renewal from that angle. Hope this answers your question, which is like 46% of the revenue in project-based and asset-based, 54% is on subscription-based.
So it's overall 80%, you can say.
70 to 80% of the revenue is annually recurring.
Thank you, Pawan sir. Thank you, Ananya ma'am. Next question, please. We have a next question from Gajendra sir. He's asking, return on equity declined from 66% to 35%. Should investors expect further normalization after the IPO?
I think we intend to, like I said, we intend to maintain the ratios that we currently have, right? And I think this is the same answer that I'm just trying to tell, that the growth actually did a lot of things and on that side, and it is a decision between growth versus PAT and return on equity, right? So the fundamental thing is, if I can grow, let's say 50, 60, or 100% year on year, I can optimize any day for PAT. The important part is, and I think I see that happening in next few years coming on that side.
Thank you, Gajendra sir. Thank you, Pawan sir. Next question, please. Sandeep sir is asking, export revenue increased from 13% to nearly 30% of revenue within 1 year. Which geographies contributed to this jump?
So it is coming from all three, right? We have one of the largest Indonesia's bank as a customer, the largest we have, oil and marketing company as a customer. Then we got one of the largest electricity company in Saudi, right? Which is coming, which is again a big account. Then we got some of the customer in the US. So it is contributing from all across geographies. If you look at revenue split in the PPT that we mentioned, it is not coming from one sector, specifically country. It is coming from across all the countries.
Thank you, Sandeep sir. Thank you, Pawan sir. Next question, please. Sudhir sir is asking, the company is investing in the US and UAE shortly after establishing subsidiaries. What yearly traction supports in the decision?
So I think it's not like we recent. So previously we started, like I said, 2 to 3 years back in a UAE market. We were doing from India entity only, right? So what we're trying to do is send our people from India every month. They go over there, they do that business, and we did direct partnerships with the local, I would say, distributor over there. So we have a two distributor in the Middle East market. So the money directly coming from directly to us. The problem is when we started expanding and hiring people in local on the ground, the local channel is not supporting us, and you have to do a lot of local compliances. That's why the reason we put up UAE subsidiary. So the revenue that you see, 13% coming from other areas, was not coming in this subsidiary, right? So it was coming from directly to the India entity. So we were doing business from India entity. But now, because we have to put up a team, we have to do a local compliances, we have to do registered entity over there as well. Same goes with the US. In US, we started early on, like recently, and that's the reason you see the US based subsidiary registered over there. So the decision is based, yeah.
And these
The decision is
subsidiaries
based
are,
on the decision is based on the previous experience that we have for roughly 3 years, and then registered. The same goes with the US. US is very critical. They want to do business with the US entity. No one is actually allowing us, like even if you go for a contract side.
and these both subsidiaries are 100% subsidiaries of Kratikal Tech Limited.
Yeah, so these are like full subsidiary, like 100% owned subsidiary of Kratikal. Thank you for mentioning this.
Thank you, Parato sir. Thank you, Pawan sir. Thank you, Sudhir sir. Next question, please. Gokul sir is saying best wishes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Jasprit
Thank
sir
you.
is saying good luck for your IPO.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Justice sir.
Neeraj sir is also saying great life. Yes, sir. Sir, I think we have covered majority of the questions. Any closing statement, Pawan sir, Parato sir, Vinay sir, Yashika ma'am?
I think there is one question that I just saw in this market expanding, and you hold a very small share. The IP proceed towards international expansion instead of building first building, right? We have built a product, right, which is globally competing. We are winning multiple contract customers and everything, right? The reason that I wanted to highlight is all the security company that you see in India is predominantly services based company, right? It is not a product company. Just generally, even today, we spend majority of the money on Western products, right? So what we really wanted to do is get into a high value product like email security, and also expand into geographically, so we have more money to fuel our growth and build the similar kind of products. So the export revenue, which is like the revenue which is going from out from India, should not go out from India, and there should be more companies built locally, and they have been utilized for cybersecurity. So just to answer this, that we want more product company from India to come in and actually build this market together out of those $13 billion that we have so far. So that's my closing statement, and thank you so much for everyone joining. Happy to take offline questions if there is any.
Sure, Pawan sir. Anyone else?
Thank you, everyone. From BRLM side, Beeline Capital Advisor, thank you all for joining the IPO meet today.
Thank you.
Thank you all
Thank
for
you.
joining the meet today.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Pawan sir. Thank you, Parato sir. Thank you, Vinay sir. Thank you, Yashika ma'am, and all the best for your IPO.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you, Rupali. Thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.